inspirator. We talk all the time about bringing you guys real world examples of different career options. And obviously, for good reason, we've brought in engineers most of the time. This is a little bit different because I know not all of you, especially those of you in marketing, want to go into engineering, and some of your seniors, you're like probably not the best option anymore. Or maybe I've talked you out of it, that's fine. But our biggest thing is always to do what you love and love what you're doing because it makes it a lot easier. And the people you work with are pretty, I say important in your career, your job. So today I have, I say Miss Hickey. How many of you had Miss Hickey? And then some guy she works with. And I'll let them introduce themselves and talk about, it's her husband, and talk about their job and what they do. So feel free to ask questions. Have a very open mind. This is not engineering specific, but okay. So I'll turn it over to them.
Thank you.
So what's up? Most of you or some of you may know my face, but didn't have me in class. Again, my name is Kate Hickey. You can call me Kate. I don't work here anymore. And this is my husband, Paul. So I was a teacher for 10 years and decided that I was ready to do something different with my life. I kind of did it, for a long time and was ready to do something different and kind of change it up. And this had been my passion for a long, long time. And if you had me in class, you know that I was a very passionate person, very passionate teacher. But I was ready to change kind of like my career path and try something new and a new challenge. So I wanted to see something that I could do that would allow me to travel and allow me to keep my own schedule and be able to travel at all times, like, at the drop of a hat. Or be able to live somewhere else, like outside of the country, just because I've been living in Spring Hill for 10 years as well. And so there's that. So that was my reason for leaving teaching, ready to start a new challenge. And I've been working, at our company now for about a year and a half because I did some work while I was still teaching, like kind of grinding on the side. So I still am pretty new to this, but have developed a huge passion for what I do now in this new endeavor. And also we are able to do what we want. We're going to be moving to Spain in August, and we've sold our house and our things and hopefully our cars in the next month. I gotta do that. It's my my checklist of things. So we will be able to do our job elsewhere, which was really the dream. So I'm flashing you forward to the end, but I really want Paul to take you back to the beginning. I think something really, really weird about education now is the fact that we are trying as thank you. I can't stop. But we're trying to educate you for a job that doesn't exist. And I think that that's something that's a real challenge for teachers now, right? Because they went to school and you just graduated and you just walked out the door and you're like, nailed it. Everybody wants me to work for you, and it just doesn't work like that anymore. It's a totally different beast. So your teachers are kind of teaching you for something that doesn't even exist yet and hasn't even been invented yet. So with that in mind, I think you just need to have a really, really open mind to what you do and say kind of yes to everything, if that makes sense. As opposed to being like, no, I'm not gonna do an unpaid internship. These are the things you should be saying yes to. Even though it might not be in your wheelhouse, you don't love, you love sports, but you don't love the softball draft that's coming up in Nashville for women. That's not your bag. You don't want to do that. Go there, say yes to that, meet the dude that does the MLB draft. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of about just saying yes. So I say this to say, in this presentation, this might not be for you. And it really wasn't for me, but it's led me to where I want to be, if that makes sense. All right, if you know me, interrupt and ask questions, but I am going to turn the floor over to my husband. His path is really unique and kind of cool, and kind of a story of saying yes to things that will lead to other things, even if it's not exactly what you want in the moment. So I will let him sort of tell his story. You want to start from college?
Yeah, sure. So hey everybody, I'm Paul Hickey. I own a company called Data Driven Design. We're just 4 people that work full-time building websites We build mobile apps, we build custom software. So for any of you thinking about engineering from a digital standpoint, we do a lot of that. And then we also just generally help businesses grow. So any business that needs more customers, basically, we do marketing for them. And before I get into more about like my beginning and my story, I just kind of want to ask a couple questions just to kind of put everything we're going to talk about into context. So how many of you, like the adults that you know, whether it's your parents or whether it's like older brothers or sisters or cousins, uncles, aunts, whatever, how many of them have a job where they go into an office every day, like they wear a certain suit or dress or whatever they wear, it's like their attire that they're required to wear, and they go into an office every single day? Just show of hands. Okay, cool. So about half. So then how many work remote? Like just get to work from home, wear whatever they want, they jump on conference calls, whatever. Okay, so more than half. So that's pretty interesting, because when I take you back, like Kate said, to kind of tell my story, we're definitely coming from, we're not that much older than you. Like I actually have that sweatshirt, that Logic sweatshirt. You guys think we're probably really old, and that's fair, but we're not that much older than you. And we come from a world where, like, when we were your age, 100% of people went into an office. 100% of people had to wear what their boss required them to wear. And they may or may not have loved their jobs, but those were just the prerequisites. So if you can think of that kind of stuff, kind of sucks for the people that have to do it. They have to drive, they have to put on what somebody else wants them to put on, they have to go into an office. A lot of people like that, but it kind of sucks for other people. And so then you put that into the context of, if you don't really even love your job and you have to do all that stuff, then you're basically just doing it for the money, right? And money's not bad. I mean, everybody needs money, and that's why they work. But if you can think about everything I'm about to say in the context of, if you can go through the stuff that Kate was talking about, the saying yes, then you can actually end up doing something that you love and making money. And so that's always been my mindset when I've thought about working. So now I'll take you back to when I was 19, and I'll try to make this pretty quick so that we can have this be more interactive and ask questions. And she's going to cut me off.
Up, soldier.
She's going to cut me off too, so
yeah,
that'll happen
when
I talk too much. But when I was 19, I was going to Michigan State University, and I was like, what do I want to do? Like, what do I want to do this summer, this upcoming summer? And a buddy of mine had just told me, he's like, I got an internship with the Detroit Tigers, or I'm thinking about getting an internship for the Detroit Tigers. And I thought, wait a minute, like, you can go work for a sports team? That sounds pretty cool. Like, let me check into that. So I talked to a buddy of mine who had a couple contacts with the Detroit Pistons, and I literally just like stalked the public relations director for the Detroit Pistons. I didn't even know what public relations was. I didn't even know that the Pistons had any employees other than the players on the court, right? Like, well, I knew that the play-by-play guy, like the announcers and all that, of course. But I had no idea that there were actually people getting paid to go work with the team. So I literally called this guy probably 2 or 3 times a day from I would say March through probably May, and then he finally called me back.
This is how you got me to marry him as well. Just so you
That's
know.
how, yeah,
It's
exactly.
a little bit of stalking involved.
And so I thought maybe I was gonna make I thought if I can get this guy's, actually I got my timeline wrong, but it doesn't matter. I stalked him for like 3 or 4 months. And I
You're
thought
19. You need to get to where your age is now.
if I can get this guy to respond to me, I could probably make $10 an hour working for the Pistons, and that would be pretty sweet this summer, right? So he has me come to a game. That's my interview. I get the job. This was in February. Now my internship doesn't start till May. I go in May, and he basically acts like I'm lucky to be allowed into his office. So I go from thinking I'm going to make $10 an hour in the summer working for the Pistons, going to the games, to now all of a sudden it's May, the season's over, the team didn't make the playoffs. He wants me to basically rearrange media guides in the closet for free for 20 hours a week, and I'm lucky to do that, right? So it's a big time smack in the face. But I do it because I'm thinking, all right, there's gotta be, like, I was there, I was at the game, I saw it. There's something better than this, there's something more fun. I do it and I fall in love with it. And it's nothing that I thought it was gonna be. It's nothing that they taught, like, no disrespect to school, but it's nothing that they taught me in school. It's nothing that they taught me in college. It's none of that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's writing, I don't know if it's building something, I don't know what it is, but I just do it. And I do it for 2 years. And then that sets me onto a path where I get to do all these other things. And so Kate's point about saying yes, I said yes to stuff that probably none of my other friends would have said yes to. They all were going out, having fun, and that was great. I got to meet up with them after I was done with work. But now, I guess, what is it, like 17, 18 years later, I get to do what I want to do, which is go to work wearing whatever I want every day. For my own company, I can do it from home, I can go, like, and that's why we're able to live anywhere we want in the world, basically, and be able to have clients and do all of this stuff. So, along the way, though, the biggest point of this is every time I made a decision, I did it based on what I wanted to be doing. So, there would be a period of maybe a year or so where I didn't love my job. I didn't love what I was supposed to be doing, but I would make all of my decisions around, if I can get through this period of time, then I know that I can get to the point where I'm really going to be able to make decisions. And so the Pistons was the best example that I can give you off the bat, because I knew that I loved professional sports. I knew that I loved basketball. I loved it since I was a little kid. And so that's one example throughout my career of where I just made a decision. I don't care if I get paid. I don't care if I have to rearrange the closet. Eventually, and it was only like days. It wasn't years with the Pistons where I got to do the stuff that I wanted to do. Literally, like a few weeks later, I was sitting at center court keeping score for a game. So that was pretty awesome. And I was getting paid for that. They were paying me like $50 to sit there and do that for a couple hours. So that was pretty cool. So I guess my point is, within a matter of weeks, you can go from rearranging a closet. It might seem like this internship or this opportunity is going to suck, but then like 2 weeks later, you're doing something really cool. Think about all the people in this room right now. There's like 40 of you. So if we were to take a poll, like who wants to rearrange a closet, none of you would do it. But the one of you that does it 2 weeks later would be doing something really cool. Just think of it that way.